Types of soil and how they affect concrete foundations. You have the expansive clay. Those have a tendency to push on foundation walls. Take in mind, the bigger the house, the bigger the issues, the bigger the price. Whereas clay essentially doesn't allow water to absorb. So what it'll do is it will expand. And when it expands, it's essentially like taking a dry sponge and sticking it in a bucket of water, and then it'll expand. Your soil around your house in that scenario is the sponge. And unfortunately, it's not without its issues. Clay affects either A, the foundation wall, or being that it doesn't absorb water, it will cause settlement because expansion and contraction. You end up with settlement issues due to the soil constraints. I run into it a lot where one area will be built on rock, like Shawnee, Lenexa. A lot of those areas are built on rock, whereas per se, you wouldn't necessarily have a foundation-related issue as much as maybe you would have a water issue, for the simple fact, just like clay, water's not going to soak into a rock. So if your foundation wall, let's say, is backfilled with rocks, that water's going to go around those rocks and then find a way into the basement because that's the lowest spot. It really just, it varies from house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood, area to area. Cracks in the foundation, cracks in sheetrock, pooling water outside, improper grading. All those are signs that if it hasn't started affecting the foundation, it is right down the road. Taking small steps like making sure your gutters are clean, make sure, like I said, go outside when it's raining, make sure downspouts are flowing away, make sure there's gutters not overflowing, make sure your grading's good, make sure your neighbors' gutters aren't just dumping water on your house. It literally boils down to the basics and how you would live your everyday life on how your foundation's doing, you know. I mean, if you don't care, it's gonna happen. If you do care, it probably will still happen, but you'll be more proactive. It's a full-time job that they don't tell you about when you buy a house. But whether you buy or rent, you run into those same issues. If you're renting per se, hopefully you got a good landlord that cares. Because if not, then get used to that.